Good Friday evening, everybody. Today's topic is on home invasion, so I'm going to sing a song about home, and this one is by Daughtry. I'm staring out into the night, trying to hide the pain. Going to the place where love, feeling good don't ever cost a thing. And the pain you feel's a different kind of pain. Well, I'm going home, back to the place where I belong, and where love has always been good enough for me. I'm not running from, no, I think you got me all wrong. I don't regret this life I chose for me. But these places and these faces are getting old, so I'm going home.
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions. Hello, very good evening. Welcome everybody to another episode of Friday Night Live. I am your host. My name is Eugene Tay, the Prince of Paranormal. Flying solo today. I actually had a guest today whose house was haunted. He caught something on camera and we were about to share this video today, but unfortunately, as how things would go, he had a family emergency and he couldn't join us today. So I'm keeping that video and his appearance on this Friday Night Live for another episode. I saw the video and I can tell you it is worth the wait. And because I know him personally, I've been to his house and he was also a confessor on our show. I can tell you without a doubt, this is not a man trying to fake a haunting just for attention. In fact, he told me to blur his face. He don't need the attention, and it was just for us and the SC community. So, yeah, it was supposed to be out here today, but unfortunately, we don't have that. But I still have some really solid stuff for you today. I'm trying something new, so work with me here and let me know whether this works out for you guys. But of course, I want to say big thank you to all those of you who came in earlier and those of you who have WhatsApp me and say, hey, your featured confession is at the wrong time. It clashes with Friday Night Live. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I managed to go in time and change the feature confession slightly earlier, so hopefully you guys caught that. Also want to say a big thank you to Guyver Chang, who's SC patron, SC channel member, and also he dropped me a blessing right at the start of the Friday Night Live, or before the Friday Night Live started. It says, I am second. Who's first? The name's gone, I can't see it anymore. We also have Alexandra, who's constantly trying to get me drunk. What's up, girl? One day I will get drunk, especially if you come down for my live show in person. That's usually a 3-hour long segment. And those of you who have been for my live show since the start of it in 2022, 23, 24, no, I think 23, 24, and 25, you will know that live show runs for 3 hours, sometimes even longer. And I start drinking before the show. So you can imagine by the time we say goodbye, I'm kind of woozy already. Alexandra as well, yeah, that's what I said just now. We also have one more that just came in. Yang Bao Li. Yang Bao Li is also another confessor, and her confession is not out yet. I'll wait a little bit more, but Bao Li's confession is very, very keras. Why? Because she can see ghosts all her life. Also, if you're on our live chat group, do join us, leave your comments, and if I do miss it out, I really do apologize. But the best way to get my attention, just because I'm running solo, it's tough to read everything, is to do what Alexandra, Pauli, and Guyver Cheng did. You click on the dollar sign, put in a bit of money, and you pop right up with big colored box. Alternatively, you can also join Supernatural Confessions YouTube channel as a member. It's really no frills, no gimmicks. You put in $3, YouTube takes $1, I take $2, and you get your name nicely lighted up with a nice icon by the side. It just helps keep the channel alive. Every little bit counts and goes a very, very long way. So thank you so much for all of you guys supporting me, putting where your money is, and really bringing this channel to life. For those of you who, of course, not everyone has the means to drop a cent or two. The best way you can help this channel out is to like and share. What I realize is that, sometimes I receive WhatsApp messages from people saying, is there Friday Night Live today? I don't see it on YouTube. There's always Friday Night Live throughout the entire year. If I don't have Friday Night Live, there's usually a good reason. Usually even when I'm sick, I'm at home on live video, because unless I'm bedridden, there is no reason for me not to be sitting here comfortably in front of the screen and enjoying this moment. It's an enjoyment. It's not a pain. It's not a suffering. I look forward to every Friday with you guys. So like and share, help spread this thing around. And those who are looking for the link and have not seen the link can at least partake. And when they join in, the more voices, the more dissection, just makes this entire live show come to life, and it'll be more interesting for everyone in the community. Now, come to our big names, very important. They are the patrons of Supernatural Confessions. Now, very strangely, when I look at the names of the patrons, sometimes they don't appear on the list when I go and do a filter and search for all. So people have actually told me, hey, my name is not there. Let me know. I always do my best to go through the list twice. And also recently someone messaged me and says patrons down and cannot go in. So really nothing I can do when Patreon is down or Patreon decides to act up. So if I do miss your name, please just let me know. So let's go to our Patreon list. Some very important names. Let's do this right. Elaine Chua, Katniss Everdeen, Emco Grimm, ZP Matt, Queen Lai, Alvin Sensei, Casey Chan, Janice Ang, Yong Kwan Yu, Jerwin, Starving Jack, Hot Water Bottle, Eric, Edwin Lee, SD Lane, Neurologic, BB Kailan, EpicFishing.com, Sundick Sim, Maiden Newsstands, Sean. Next, to Spirits tier. This one is a bit longer. Jogo, Jaking To, Linda Hayden, Kenny Polaris, LEX, Jess Neo, Jerry Fish, Bibi Teo, Te Hakwi, Serin Tan, Kelvin C, TTB, Jujube Jume, Davin Des, Lachmi, Gary Fu, Martin Felony, Isaac, Harry Joshua, Inixus Lam E Chong, Ed A, Yao Siu, J, Kai C, Guyver Chang Lek Kai, Koshkat, T. Amelia, Jin Jin, Yumi, W Cat, DN, Even Kwa, Maitreya Om, Queen Wolf, Ang Han, Rin, Tan Wei Shun, JK, Hamster Burrows, Sharonjit Carr, T.E. Low, JJ, Apple Lee, So, Bao Li Yang, Andy, Derek Kwa, and to our soul segment, we have Suchieto, my dear wife Grace, Candy Chia, Ron K, Nicholas Pua, Rachel Y, Sharon Ng, Sherlyn Ng, Stella Chan, Yvonne, Edwin, Jenia, Lin Tan, A.E. Erickson, Ann Lim, Gabriel T, Crimson CB Shok, Stephanie Chin, and Cole Outcast too. Thank you very much. And if you would like to be a patron as well, go to patreon.com/supernatural confessions. I've just dropped a new reward for our Patreons, and this single reward pretty much bumps up the entire value of the Patreon tiers. There is no increase in amount. I just want to give something back to our patrons. I've been running Patreon for 2 years. You guys have been supporting me. And now that I've been practicing my spiritual craft, and I've started this year, at the start of this year, doing divination work, reading for people their charts, and how I do it. It's not just a single tarot read or oracle read. I actually use a multi-modality approach. I have confirmations, I have validations, and of course a lot of it is intuition work, confirmed with things like 智慧斗数, 八字, palmistry, facial recognition, facial features, as well as Western and Eastern astrology. So on top of that, I still use oracle cards and tarot to read. So I got very, very good testimonials from people who says that the reads has been phenomenally accurate. So if you want to get your life journey checked out, you got some questions that you want answered. So far, I have not gotten a question that I cannot answer. So I invite you to get me stumped. This is not a challenge of ego. This is a challenge of humility. I just started this year, and it will be very helpful if I can help you, and in turn, you can help me and we can help each other. So let me know if you need help. The link to my divination service is pinned at the top. If you like to go down to our website, you can go supernaturalconfessions.com/services. Right? I'll just go to the services tab. You can find the form right there and all the details that you need. Also, if you have your house is haunted or you need exorcism work, that seems to be my forte. I've realized that in the last 1.5 years, that's something that came naturally to me. Maybe because for the last 10 years, that's been the one answer I'm trying to solve, is to do battle with the negative side of things. But of course, over time and over the years, I realized it's not a war, but really to see the spiritual side and the supernatural side in many shades of grey. And like what the late Jonathan Lim would say, Hantu are friends. But on the occasion that they are not, well, then we have some heavy-handed approach. But most times I'm able to go down, negotiate, and try to find a win-win situation for the victim to be safe, the spirits to move on, and for me to do a proper cleansing. So everybody wins. Now, if you think you need a service like that, go to supernaturalconfessions.com as well. Click on the service tab. You can fill up a form and I can reach out to you. So little things like this make a big deal to me. For those of you who have been growing with me since the start. My God. Looking back, this is my 10th year, guys. 10th year running Supernatural Confessions. 10th year running Supernatural Confessions. The 6th year running Friday Night Live. 6th year of podcast. 6 years of streaming. Featured confession for YouTube. 6 years as well. But the podcast go way beyond that. Started in 2016. In fact, I had a YouTube channel last time that I put up all this random stuff, but it was so chapalang and so rojak that I decided to tear it down and start Supernatural Confessions in 2019. Ever since then, even since beyond that, there's always been the thirst of finding answer to solve life's greatest riddle. What's there on the other side? And for those of you who have been with me long enough, you know my story. I've probably repeated the same story on Supernatural Confessions, on other channels when I'm interviewed. So if you know the story, you do. If you're new to me and you don't, well, there's a few ways to get to know my story. First of all, the free way is to go check out the past videos, binge watch it, and you'll probably find that story told free. But if you do want to get a copy of my book. It is on sale, coming soon in June. Pre-sales will be open very shortly. I think it's already open. I'm not sure. I think my publisher and Nakia from POV Horror is doing some promo stuff for the pre-order, and I'm quite happy and proud. I saw the book cover. I saw the artist's work. My publisher is doing a very wonderful job putting together the 10-year anniversary copy. So those of you who have the book already, please keep it. It's entirely out of print. I don't have the original copy anymore. I don't have the original, sorry, not the original copy. I have for myself, of course. I don't have the original manuscript anymore. I don't have the original artwork anymore. They are all in your hands. So maybe one day, you might never know. Hopefully it goes for a lot of money online and you make you a killing. But the new book is coming out. It's in hardcover. We have new artwork, new content. Of course, the original content is there. And I think if we are in time, I might have a little surprise embedded somewhere in between. But for the first 500 books, 500 copies purchased, we are throwing in one of 4 designs of a limited edition tote bag, based upon the design of the artists, local artists, by the way, who have very generously contributed their time and their artwork and their skills and their talent for the Supernatural Confessions 10-year series. So very proud to announce that. Also, Something Strange Festival is coming. This is our 2nd year. So do forgive me if it's not done as smooth as I wanted to. Running an event is really not my forte. But this year I brought entire kampong together. We have Salim Hadi, we have Elwin, we have Nakia, we have Kyle and Wayne, all working behind the scenes as Exco. We have marketing people like Joey, Patricia. We have Fox Fu coming back as a photographer. We have Grace Chai, working with volunteers and merchandise booth again. It's been a journey for the last 6 months trying to set this up. And we're looking for a place to run this festival. It's not easy to find a place, but we finally got a spot at 195 Pearls Hill Terrace. It's a beautiful place, very old, very ancient, very fitting of Supernatural Confessions vibe. And also I started a new business there called the Halls on the Hill, where I will be providing services and courses and bringing in all my entire network, all the best of the 10 years that I've been doing Supernatural Confessions into the Halls of the Hill. And you'll get to meet possibly Master T when he comes down, Ajan May, Murali, all these names and people that you have seen on my channel will be coming down at this place. It's a congregation of practitioners, seekers. So as in the spirit of Supernatural Confessions, this is a place for you to mingle, to learn, to discover. Nobody is going to tell you you're wrong. Nobody's going to tell you you're right. And even if they did, it doesn't really matter because everyone got their own opinion. And everybody's path towards achieving enlightenment is going to be different. Find your path. Discover your path. The same way as I've discovered mine. And I'm now sharing this pathway that I have with you. So if you need guidance, you need answers to life questions, and you feel that you're not getting it from your 9-to-5 job, and you're wondering if there's something more out there, your Eat, Pray, Love journey, the Halls on the Hill. The Halls on the Hill is a place for you to go to. More details on that coming up. I just finished my meeting with Elwin, Belinda, and Patricia today in the place. I'm seeing the place setting up. Furnitures are coming in. Things are being put on the wall. Programs are being churned out. And one thing that I've always put on the table, and if you notice that the names I mentioned, they're all part of the community members as well. And we never forget community first. Whenever we design something, we put something forward, we always ask ourselves, is this accessible to as many people as possible? So with different tiers, different workshops, different classes, different intensity, all designed to make it as accessible as it is for every one of you. Okay, so excuse me. Lots of interesting stuff. And as always, very humbling. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you for all the fans, for your support. It would not have been possible for me to do this if I was struggling to do my full-time job and still running Supernatural Confessions full-time on the side. So you, every single one of you, made this journey possible. And by helping me to be in the driver's seat, hopefully I can take that gift from you and pass that gift down to everyone else. So more people can benefit, more people can get help, and karma bestowed to every one of you. Good merits all around, yeah? Okay, so that's me giving my spiel. As always, Friday Night Live, there is no script. I'm speaking off my cuff and whatever comes from the heart. Okay, Alexandra says, promoting many, thirsty now, drink. She's trying to get me drunk, I swear. Hold on. Thirsty. Okay. Okay, some of you are saying, I mean, when the name light up, I can see it better. So I see Evelyn Eve says, Miss Belinda, without Tuesday housekeeping, I always lose track of days. Housekeeping, Strange World will be back. We'll be back. I promise you that. Belinda and me have been sitting down and we have so much content to share with you. But really, timing is a bit of an issue now, especially with TOF coming up, Something Strange Festival coming up. But we will come back. Okay, we will be back for this. It's a promise. The difference now is we may not be filming at our own home. We could be filming straight out at the studio itself. And a few more things. I swear I'm going to go into the confession very soon. I'm just excited about sharing some information with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have attended the live show, the last 3 times. There were 3 live show. The first one is held at Eugene. I believe that's 2003 in October. Then you have in 2004 at the start. 2002 it was held in Eugene in October. 2003 we did not have because we have it in 2004 in January. That was at Somerset at 313 Orchard. Then also in 2024, that very same year, at the end of that year, we have it at the Projector. Each time, it pains me very much to have to charge ticket for you guys to come and watch me and watch the show that you love. But I also understand there is no other way I could afford to pay rent out of my own pocket. And this rental in these places, especially a studio that big or a auditorium that big, cost me thousands of dollars. So what we collect, we pretty much just give back. I'm very happy to announce that this year, Something Strange Festival, we are letting you guys in for free. No ticket. Wrong. There is a ticket only because if we say free for all, the place can only accommodate up to 50 pax max. Okay? 50 pax max. So the ticket is meant to make sure that we don't overcrowd the place and have people disappointed and disgruntled standing outside. Okay? But for the first time, I'm happy to say I can give live show back to our community and our fans at no cost. So for those of you who have bought tickets before, I would love to give you this privilege of coming here first. So please text me if you want a ticket. I will have the link up very soon. Also, another thing, last thing, I swear before I get to the confession, mark it down on your date, on your calendar. On the 12th of June, is a Thursday, we have Something Strange Festival opening ceremony, Supernatural Confessions 10th year anniversary book launch, as well as the Halls on the Hill opening, all on 12th of June. Come on down, there's food and drinks while stock lasts. Enjoy yourself. I don't have tickets for that, but if there's too many people, I apologize in advance. I think it's a Thursday night. Most people will be working on Friday. I just don't think there'll be overcrowding situation, okay? But maybe my producers might tell me, no, bro, you need a ticket. I'll let them decide. On Friday, 13th of June, 2 things are happening. Mark it on your calendar as well. 1, the longest podcast is happening at the Halls on the Hill. That is organized jointly by Hantu And POV Horror, we have the mic, we have our celebrity guests coming in, all horror content creators. We're going to go onto the mic, we're going to host the show, and for as long as people have story to tell, we will keep going. It's almost like a marathon. I don't know what time it's going to be done, but you are welcome to come on down to the Halls on the Hill, grab a seat. Like I said, maximum capacity is 50. It might be a bit of a squeeze. Come on down and listen live. For those of you who cannot make it down, don't worry. We have it streamed live as well on all 3 channels, POV Horror, Hantu, and Supernatural Confessions. Happening concurrently at the same time at 7 o'clock is the movie The Ritual. The Ritual is showing at Balestier Shaw. Thank you very much to Shaw Theatres for being a partner of Supernatural Confessions and Something Strange Festival. Tickets usually sold at $15 or $17 on weekend. It's only going at $12 for that Friday, especially for Supernatural Confessions and SSF community. Grab your tickets, please. I'll put up the link later on. But all links can be found on supernaturalconfessions.com. Click on my website, go to Something Strange Festival. All the tickets are listed out there. Go and buy your tickets right now. On Saturday as well, there are lots of events, lots of workshops happening. So please go and check your tickets out. There's a lot more to talk about, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. Go to my website, supernaturalconfessions.com. Click on Something Strange Festival. Okay, and thank you for this Chinese name that says member for 3 months. Represent. Keep it up with your good work, Eugene. 谢谢你. Podcast 24 hours. One day, Grace. One day. It might happen. Okay. Like I said, today we have confessions, but it will be slightly different. And I did this intentionally. I want to test if this format works with you guys. I will let you know. This format is harder to do because it requires me to rewrite the confession in a way that I think might be more immersive. So if today this format tank and you don't like it, you hate it, let me know and we'll go back to the normal format next time. But if this format works, I may consider in future having more of this, or perhaps in every episode having at least one confession done in this style, okay? So I do apologize that I'm not able to read the comments. I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at you guys, I'm doing so many things at the same time. So unless you pop in a big bright box, I probably will not be able to see your comment. Oh, I see Koshka as well. I see Samuel Yen as well. Guyver. Oh my God, what did I miss? Okay, let me check it out. Samuel Yen says, keep up the good work, Eugene. Since today you are the Lone Ranger. How about new title? The Lone Ranger of Liminal Spaces. Wow, sure. Mouthful that is. That's like what she said. Koshka sings Happy Friday. Everyone, Friday. Guyver Chang again. Maybe Eugene need to be drunk to sing Miss P. I was told that when I'm drunk, I sing better. Or maybe when I'm drunk, I think I sing better. Could be one of the two. Okay. There will be some polling done. You guys will need to be involved in this. So when you are listening to the confession, I need you to put on your investigator's hat. Can? There are 3 stories I'm going to tell you today. Help me choose. One is Free Fall. 2 is The House That Dream House. 3rd is Why Blame the House. Okay, I repeat. 1 is Free Fall. 2 is Dream House. 3 is Why Blame the House. Let me know in the comment section which one you want. I should say all. Of course, I'm going to go all. Free Fall, Dream House. Why Blame the House? Okay. Oh, I put up the poll there, guys. So you can just click on it. Maybe a bit. It might be easier for you guys. Alexandra is spamming number 3. UTL. What's that little icon by the side? How do you guys get that? Oh, leaderboard. There's a leaderboard. I never knew that. Wow. Can you all see the little crown by the side of your name, or is it just me? This vexes me. Why? Adif, why? Okay. We got 73 votes right now. Free fall go it's 19%. Dream House at 36%. Why blame the house is at 44%. That looks like. Okay, I'm closing the poll in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 99 votes. We have 100 votes. Okay. And the where's my poll? Okay, the poll is why blame the house at 41%. Okay, I'll go read that first. Why blame the house? Okay, like I said, new format. You guys are the investigators. It's like choose your own adventure. Listen carefully. Why blame the house? A bit of background story. This was a case that I had first-hand experience in. I went down to speak to the confessor. I managed to get the stories from the person. I asked enough questions, and why this could make it down to today's confession was because it has enough details for me to work this confession into this particular format. So, without further ado, it began the way most hauntings do. Lucas and Shay had just moved into a 2-bedroom walk-up in Tiong Bahru, a 1950s era building. Green mosaic tiles in the kitchen, ventilation blocks in the bathroom wall. The place has a lot of character. They waited for months for a resale house like this. The previous owner had done a great job with the deco, so there's no real need for any renovation work. They moved in as is. The neighbors on either side were elderly. One was partially deaf. The other lived mostly with her son, so she hardly was home. Her house smelled perpetually of tiger balm. Everything was a-okay for the first few weeks. The first sign of strangeness was when the toilet started flushing on its own. At first, it was just once, at midnight, then twice a night, then 3 times. Always between the hours of 2:45 and 3:15 a.m. They joked about it. Must be a ghost with IBS, Lucas said. Then, the hallway light started flickering. Not the kind of flicker you get from a faulty wiring, but slow, deliberate pulses, like someone tapping on a switch from the other side of the veil. Still, Lucas wasn't fazed. He was a rational man. Old building, he said, and shrugged it off. Now, at this point, so far, we have self-flushing toilets and flickering lights. So if this was your home, would you think this was paranormal or something else? It's a bit like a choose your own adventure, right? Okay. So, question, pick one. This is confirmed paranormal. The next one is, this is just an old building. Okay, Adif, the format is a bit like choose your own adventure. I'll read out the confession. I'll stop at certain points and I'll ask you questions to vote. And then I'll carry on again. So far right now, the community is saying almost 50-50. Some of you are saying it's confirmed paranormal. Some of you are saying it's just an old building. Okay, no worries, no worries. We can get on. I will leave the poll running. Okay, but Shay started noticing other things. She's always had a sharp nose. And one night, she woke up choking on a scent. Something rotten. It was really pungent. So pungent that she was literally gagging. It filled the bedroom for 30 seconds and then it vanished. She was sure it wasn't her imagination. The next night, it came back again and it seems to be moving from room to room. The cat too started behaving strangely. It began standing in the hallway outside their room at night. Just standing, eyes wide, tail low, staring at the mirror near the front door. At this point, do you still think it's paranormal or just an old building? Okay, ending the poll in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. We have almost 50-50 for 91 votes. 51 say it's an old building, 58% say it's paranormal. Okay. Well, in the comment section, some of you say it's poor rental work. Gerard says, admit means cannot stay already. That's true. Wilson Ho says, old building don't flush itself. Okay. The couple still kept their cool at this time, rationalized everything away and continued living as if none of this strangeness bothered them. This is like most of you, like 50% of you, just pretend nothing is wrong, pretend it's an old building, let's carry on life as per normal. The turning point came when Lucas began making weird noises in his sleep. He was known to snore, so that wasn't strange. But between his snores, he would make this weird, wet noise in his throat. Shay described it as if there was an insect at the back of his throat, just making a sound. One night, Shay recorded it, played it back for him in the morning, and Lucas turned pale. Sounds like something my grandfather used to do, he muttered. A throat tick. He used to click like that before he spoke. Shay stared at him. Eventually, they brought in a medium. Middle-aged woman, grey hair from a temple nearby. She walked in, closed her eyes at the threshold, and stood still. Then she turned to Lucas and eyed him up and down. Lucas looked at her and says, "What's wrong with the house?" he asks. Okay. Now, what are we dealing with here? Now, if you were an investigator at this point, what would be your thought process? Think of the questions you're going to ask. What's wrong with the house? Well, let me know in the comment section before I carry on. What's wrong with this house that Lucas and Shay lived in? Now, some of the clues that we had before was it was a second-hand house. They came in, toilet flushed by itself, light would turn on and off, strange smell that seems to go from room to room, and the cat spotted something in the mirror. If you were an investigator, what would you think is about? Lucas' grandpa haunting him. Too dusty, so it triggers sleep apnea. Sijo also says choking on saliva. Kuromi says super bad sleep apnea. Richie Tay says too much phlegm. Sean says got phlegm. Indigo says apnea. Derek says only happens during a specific time frame. This is a red flag. Sijo said old buildings often have dead, rotting birds, rats. They live and die in old buildings. Okay. Oh, Indigo is just that the cat is behaving very strangely, standing at the doorway with just staring to the mirror. Okay. Weird teeth grinding. Ex-owner's spirit still lives there. Wow. Okay. Carry on. The medium said, "It's not this home," she said softly. She pointed to Lucas and said, "You brought it here." Lucas blinked. "I brought what?" The medium asked if he had taken anything from some other place recently and brought it home. And that's when Lucas remembered. Some month ago, his grandfather passed away, somewhere in a small kampong outside of Malacca. The funeral was simple, intimate, just family. After the ceremony, when the family members were divvying up Akong's possession, Lucas opted for a antique, or rather vintage-looking wooden horse carved out of what looks like black wood. He felt that this would complement his new house decor. "I just wanted to keep something of him," he said. Lucas said, "Didn't think it was a big deal." The medium asked to see it. Lucas went and fetched it from his bookshelf, but the medium did not touch it. She just examined it while Lucas held it in his hand. "This is not a keepsake," the medium said. "It's a vessel. There's something inside. And when you took it, you broke something. You broke a seal or a contract. And now, whatever's inside is free to roam. Some spirits are bound to a place, but for a purpose. And whatever was inside this was there for a purpose. And this vessel was an anchor and a cage. But now, maybe whatever's inside is looking for its new owner." So maybe that explained the knocking, the scent, the clicks in the night, even the cat. And perhaps it is not the house that was haunted to begin with. This was something that was brought in to the house. The medium gave Lucas very strict instructions. This object has to be buried back in the earth where it came from. Lucas asked, "After that?" "After that, let's hope for the best. If still got problem, come and find me. Then we see what we can do." So naturally, Lucas went back to Malacca and buried it. The only place he knew where to bury it was in his grandfather's grave plot. He thought that after burying this thing, it would end. But to be fair, I guess it did in a way. All the hauntings that you have in the house early on, all those have stopped. But Lucas did not feel any better. He started feeling lethargic, unfocused, and he tried to rationalize it all, but at this juncture, fear and doubt were creeping in. He couldn't be a skeptic. He couldn't be the skeptic that he once was. Is this supernatural or just something natural? Maybe you're just tired, he thought. The only way to know for sure is to get some answers. So he casually brought it up during a family gathering, and through a bit of coaxing, it wasn't hard to find a Kepo relative who was only too excited to share. And from that sharing of the relative, he realized that his grandfather was not just a carpenter. He was a carpenter by day, but he was also somewhat of a village shaman. He had a gift. In fact, the entire family line had a gift that it seems to have ended with Grandpa. So what Grandpa would do is, when things would go wrong in the village, people would come and find Grandpa, and Grandpa would do certain things. He could heal, but most times when he was asked to do things, it was to cleanse black magic or to capture jinns or some spirits. And what he would do for these spirits is he would, the things that he cannot dispel, he would bind them in artifacts. And some of the spirits that he bound in artifacts, he would use them as servants to help him do good things, to perhaps earn some karma or merit points. But not all items that he has are filled with good spirits. So you can consider that the items he has in his home are like jail cells for these jinns or errant spirits. And before Grandpa died, he has given strict instructions to bury all these items. But we do not know how one of these items got placed among the rest of the possession. Perhaps one of the family members thought this looks like antique enough and looks valuable and decided to put it there without realizing what it could have meant. So the black wood, of course, after I talked to Lucas and after I did a bit of research, talking to the medium and all that, I found that the black wood that Lucas thought it was not exactly a black wood. According to the medium, this is the kind of wood that you'll find in the forest especially after a thunderstorm when a particular tree is struck by lightning. And then the shaman has to go into the forest, pick up that particular wood that's been struck by lightning, bring it back and carve something out of it. Only an item like that can be used as a prison cell. Chances are, my own hypothesis is that when he buried the item back in the soil, I've got a feeling that whatever was inside is now following Lucas. When I told Lucas that, Lucas went, "Choi, choi, 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 choi." He tried to rubbish it off. But we had a good laugh because it's not that he didn't believe in it, it's just that he didn't want to believe in it. So as of this point right now, we do not know what's happening to Lucas. So far, all good news. There is no more haunting in Lucas's house. But maybe, you never know, in some weeks to come, or months to come, or years to come, Lucas might be called to do spiritual work. Because I said, there's no way your entire family lineage can do spiritual work, and you tell me in this generation, no one is called to do the task. And for some strange, bizarre reason, that artifact is placed with the rest of the possession. And for some bizarre, coincidental reason, the universe conspired to let you pick that item. So I don't believe in coincidences to that as much as Lucas believe in. I do think that Lucas might be the chosen one. So we'll know. Let's see if there's another continuation story in the months to come. Alright, going straight to the comment section. Let's see what you have for me. House was a former demonic ritual site dedicated to Asmodeus. Ooh, that reminds me of one other story from Tiong Bahru. It's on my confession as a featured confessor. There's this lady that brought me to her old house that she says under her staircase is a portal. When she was young and she was sleeping there, she could actually see spirits coming out. Remember that confession? So that's in Tiong Bahru as well. Herman says it's impersonating grandpa. Perhaps. Almost like a Hantu Raya, right? You know the Malay mythology. There's something called the Hantu Raya, especially when you are a Malay practitioner and you practice some animalistic belief. There is a way to summon a Hantu Raya, like a doppelganger, to do your work for you. And Muslims believe that this doppelganger is not just a good spirit, it's a jinn. And when you're dabbling with jinn, it can be both sides of the coin. When it helps you, it helps you. But when it's free and it doesn't have a master, it can run havoc. So this vessel that Lucas had, it feels a bit like Aladdin and the magic lamp, right? You know, you have the lamp is inside, and when you rub it a certain way, maybe you try to clean and polish it, the entity comes out. But because Lucas cannot see it, he is unable to negotiate or to communicate with the spirit. But I got a feeling the spirit is still there. Yeah, the spirit, I feel as well, Michael, that the entity is trying to be seen and heard. It's always a wooden horse. I don't know. Has there been other wooden horses around? How Lucas know where it came from? He asked the family member. They start. About the horse and about the grandfather, he asked the family member. About the wood itself, that's me getting the information. And when I speak to shamans who told me about a wood that looks like that, it's usually a wood that's struck by lightning. Cannot anyhow bring home wooden items. Xiao liao. Unless Lucas chose not to marry or have children or gay. No lah, quite sure he's not gay lah. Wooden horse like the Trojan horse. Maybe. Symbolic. There is no spoon. Bring him to the Matrix. Okay, next one. Free Fall or Dream House? Which one should I go next? Part 2, the tengah episode. God. I think I'll do it in July. I do it in July because I started off with the Tengah episode in the first half of the year. Second half of the year, I'll start off with Tengah again. And I actually have a confessor who will come in and join me to talk about Tengah. He lives in Tengah. Okay, looks like Free Fall is getting more votes. Well, let's go for Free Fall then. Closing in 10 seconds. Hospital beds out. Free Fall it is. The confessor had lived in the flat for almost a decade. Bought it over from a family who was migrating to Australia. The price 10 years ago, the price 10 years ago compared to what the market price now is quite staggering. It's one of those older units and in the higher floors, somewhere in the Outram area, where the units were larger than modern HDB blocks. From his unit, he has unobstructed view on one side to a small forest on a hill, and from the kitchen, it faced another block. So far, no complaints at all, until recently. He couldn't put a finger on when it started. It wasn't a sighting, no sounds, no typical haunting signs, just a feeling. Not fear, not dread, but an oddly specific thought that started creeping in his mind. What would it be like to jump out of the window? He was by all accounts contented, family intact, business stable, nothing to despair about. But yet every time when he sits alone in the living room and he wasn't actively thinking, his mind would drift towards suicide. He brushed it off at first, but the thought still persisted after a few weeks. It didn't get worse, just there, ever present in the corner of his mind. What do you think? If you're an investigator at this point, fatigue, subconsciously depressed, repressed emotions, haunting? But if it's a haunting, what kind of haunting is it? Weeks passed. He said nothing. He didn't want to overthink. Until one day, his daughter, 10 years old, was drawing in her room. Family portrait, stick figures, smiling faces. But they were all standing by the window. All of them. Him, his wife, the child herself, the maid. Every one of them drawn at the edge, mid-fall. The confessor asked the daughter, "Hey, what is it? Why you draw this?" Her answer? "Oh, I was just dreaming that all of us were jumping, so I draw." She didn't say it in a frightened tone, just matter-of-factly. And that was the moment he froze. Coincidence? Or something more? He didn't want to spook his wife, so he said nothing for now. He casually asked the helper if she ever felt anything strange. According to her body language, she looked like she was hiding something. But all she said was, "Nope, nothing to say." So he turned to what he thought was the safest bet. He went to a fortune teller somewhere in Waterloo and asked about his fortune. The results, all clear, no problem at all. The chart looked good, business should be on the rise, family strong, spiritually stable. No warnings, no danger. But the gut feeling didn't go away. In fact, the reading just made him even more uneasy. Eventually, he sought a second opinion, this time for a respected spiritual master in the area. During the first consultation, the master said that there was nothing wrong with him. He wasn't possessed. No attachment, no curse, nothing. Something for you guys to think about as an investigator. So if everything said nothing and everything said all clear, if you were the investigator, what would you do next? Think about that. Let me know in the comment section. So if you're the investigator on this case, what will be your next course of action? Thank you, Serene. We'll be waiting for Tengah in July. Coffee for you. Thank you very much. Jesus jumping. Mate, do black magic. Jang, jang, jang. Go to the house. Should get master go to the house and see. Nicholas say get the master to the house. Jenny say go to the house. Richie Tay say ask the girl. Which girl? The wife? The daughter? Derek SG said mate, prime suspect. Ooh, give it a try. Look for Eugene Tay. Thank you, Paris. Get a second opinion from another trusted master. Site visit. Check the surrounding. Well, most of you can be investigator. Guess what? Confessor suggested the master to come over to his house to check. If it was just... No, it was a very reputable master, so he didn't feel the need to ask for a second opinion. So he asked the master to come to the house. If it was just himself having the thought, he didn't care much about it. He can ignore it. But this, he was more worried about his kid. But when the master reviewed the space, he walked around the spacious living room, looked out at the small patch of forest, nodded to himself, and walked around the rest of the house. He said nothing at first. But after completing his tour of the house, he pointed to the kitchen and he said, there's a woman there. The confessor kept quiet, wanting to hear more. His wife and maid were also home. He didn't tell them about the purpose of the master's visit, but after such a revelation, there's no way of keeping things under wraps. The wife started to panic as expected. The master consoled the family by saying, don't worry, the ghost has no intention of harming anyone. He just wanted a place to stay. This spirit is from a woman who had jumped in the opposite block somewhere in the neighborhood not too long ago, and the residual of her energy of her final moments found its way into your house. The confessor had heard of many suicides, or rather a couple of suicides in the neighborhood during the past 10 years. But this was many years ago. He has not heard of any recent suicide in the area. The master said it's probably because... before that, I got a question for you guys. Why was the spirit of all the places you could go ended up in his house? Let me know in the comment section. Of all the places the spirit could go, why did it end up in the house? 1-800 Sifu Eugene. Seek Master T's help. Master T in Malaysia lah. This one Singapore very hard lah. See if salt turn black. Put salt around the house. You are quite right on that. Sea salt, normal table salt, Himalayan salt. Check the surrounding media they're assessing. That's where the spirit landed. Well, they were living in a high-rise flat. Someone jumped in the neighborhood around the area. But how did the spirit come inside? The spirit liked the girl, the child, the daughter maybe? Their frequency match? Well, it could be any of those. But what it turns out, the master said, was that his house was empty. There was no protection, no ancestral altar, nothing. Because they were not very religious, or they were not religious at all. So there was nothing to protect. It was just an empty house. But Master said, I can perform a simple ritual, a negotiation. And so he did. And he explained that the spirit of the woman was not malicious. She simply died in despair. And her pain was so strong, it just reached out to all these parts in the area. And anyone's frequency that matches with it, and a house that did not have any protection, clicks, and the spirit just drifted itself there. Which gives me an idea that when you die, the surrounding area plays a part in how you get dragged into the afterlife. That's possibly why places like the Suicide Tower and places where there's a lot of suicides, where you jump, you don't necessarily get out of that place. But we'll talk about that later. So while the spirit was not there intending to harm anyone, because of the way she died and her depression, that last bit of emotion still echoes throughout. And when she's around the place, even though she has no malicious thought, being in that presence, in that place, you will tend to feel how she feels. It's the same way like when you go into a room and everyone's depressed, you tend to get that negative feeling. That's how it works in this case as well. So, question to you guys is, if the spirit is not harmful and it was not intentionally haunting the house, would you let it stay or would you want it gone? Because some people believe that keeping a spirit around can bring good luck, especially a spirit like those that has died from violent deaths. If you can tame her or you can house her, she can help the family do good and possibly help the family if it's done right. So that's usually a Thai style. Would you do that if the spirit can help you? Anyway, for this particular case, the master then conducts a ritual to help the spirit move on. After the ritual, the wife felt it was safer to voice out, and this is when she said, and she confessed, that there was a woman who had just recently jumped in the opposite block, but because she jumped in the morning after everyone has gone out to work, the police came, did what they need to do, investigate, bring the body back to mortuary, clean the place. By the time the evening peak hour traffic came back, no one saw any evidence of any jumper right there. But if you were to go down to the market or listen to the gossips in the neighborhood, you would know. Obviously, the confessor is a guy. He didn't bother gossiping, so he did not find out. After saying that, the maid also stepped forth, and the maid said that now that it's over, she dared to speak out. One night, the maid admitted that she saw a figure standing by the kitchen window. It was just some time before dawn. The maid was going to the toilet and she had assumed she saw the shadow thing there at the window of a woman. It was the wife. She walked towards that shadow creature because she needed to move to the toilet. But the minute she walked towards the shadow creature, she saw the shadow creature or shadow figure, which she thought it was a wife, climb up the ledge and jump out the window. She looked down, there was nobody. She went to the toilet, she peed very quickly, she ran out to the bedroom, she went back to sleep. Ever since that day, she did not talk about it. At night, she did not go to the toilet. After 10, she did not drink water anymore, in case at night she has to go to the toilet again. So, question to you guys. If you were an investigator, hearing this story, if you were in this house with the master and it says it's being cleared, how would you as an investigator verify that this was truly over? How would you test that there's no more haunting? How would you do it as an investigator? And what would you do after that? Never scream. I bet she screamed lah. She just never tell the family she screamed lah. I guess when she was telling a story, she was as if she was really cool and calm. But to be fair, you wake up at 3, 4 a.m. or maybe 5 a.m., you walk to the toilet, you thought you saw a shadow figure of your family member, then suddenly she jumped. It may be too fast for you to rationalize all that or for you to process all that. And when you look out the window, you see nothing. So perhaps in her mind, it will be, she just imagined it. Yeah. Ask the spirit move something. Open altar in a house, says T.E. Low. Run around the house with the pants down. Need to follow up with the daughter. They get used to it. I mean, no matter what, spirits and humans cannot coexist. The kids are frightened. No choice, says Sharon O. RSVP by Grace says, after a period of time during marriage, the spirit can finally move on. That's true. Sharon O says, I don't think my mom's friend has a spirit lingering in the house. Every family member can see it. They can't love out cause no, they can't leave. They can't move out. Cost no money to sell the flat. They grew skinny and look sickly over time. And that is true, Sharon. When you do not know how to live with the spirit and you don't have the energy to control the spirit, having a negative entity at home, no matter how good the intention is, will drain the living. It's been proven. In fact, when in some of my early days, when I did not know how to protect myself and I was doing a lot of this paranormal work, I've heard that such things actually do attack us or attach to us. And I know some paranormal investigators were sick and their health took a toll for it. I know some very close friends of mine who are paranormal investigators suffers from that. And it's always important if you're doing spiritual work to cleanse yourself, and living with the spirits at home is just living with a time bomb if you do not know what to do. Always a price to be paid. Stay but put in a vessel. So maybe you can go and get Lucas' horse lah. Put it there, pass it to this Outram Park house that says new house for you. The house owners met each other by chance and talked about it. Open altar in the house. Maybe master can help the spirit reincarnate and move on to the better place. Bobby Lowe says, yes, I think that's what that particular master did, is to help the spirit move on. Use your spirit testing gadgets, CCTV, EMF machine, camera. Wow, very investigative. I like. Very tech. But that means you got to go intrude into people's house and set that all up. They may not agree to it, right? Yes, I prefer to help the spirit move towards light. As would I. Talon Bong says, sounds like something from Gardens of Sinners, overlooking view. Garden of Sinners. Where's that? Jumper sequence is very fast. I once witnessed a guy jump off. I've not even screamed. The body already landed. Yep. Sometimes you cannot react fast enough because can't process. Michael Koo says, imagine an insurance that disburses in your home if confirmed haunted so you can move. Singapore don't believe in haunted homes. So, no such thing. The best one can do is pray for the spirit of this woman. Agreed? Oh, I see. Then will not pity the spirit and will not let her stay in the house. Shadow All says, it is a pity the family does not know who to reach out to ask the spirit to leave. That was a long time back, unsure how. Yeah, see, that's why Supernatural Confessions exists. If you need services like that, please do not hesitate to go supernaturalconfessions.com, click on services. Well, at least for now, I can do divination and exorcism work. So if you need help in either parts of your life, get in touch with me. 1-800. I should get 1-800 line. Okay, last confession for tonight. The dream house. Are we ready? This one is a rental flat. This story is pretty interesting. Bit of background information. I was in the house as well, and I did my investigation work. I brought my EMF device. I brought my pendulum, and while the pendulum has some reading and gave me some indication of energetic reading, my EMF did not detect anything. I did not see any ghosts. Perhaps by the time I was there in the house, everything has been cleansed and things have already been settled. But this is the confession that was told to me. I've changed the name to protect the identity of the person. These two are members of the community, or at least one is. The other refused to listen to Supernatural Confessions because she's scared. Anyway, here goes. It's a rental house, semi-detached, pretty old but charming enough, but not quite a heritage house. So it was a friend of a friend that had inherited the place and didn't want to stay there. Reason for it, he said, too many memories. So when Jay and May moved in, it felt like a steal. The rental was low enough for a place that big. They can turn the semi-detached into a office and work out of it, so saving money on both office and rent. The place was quiet, spacious, and more importantly, affordable. But on the first night, something felt off. They both had the same dream. What did they dream of? Their living room caught fire. Slow and hypnotic. The fire flicking the walls like it belonged there and somehow just burning everything, and everything seemed to, in the dream, everything just seemed to be melting around it. So it wasn't quite a nightmare because there was no waking up in fear. It was just a living room on fire. Of course, back then, when they first had the dream, they didn't mention it to each other. Not at first, until later on. Weeks passed. Unlike most of the other confession, this one don't have any strange noises, no shadow, no cold spot, nothing. It was just that recurring dream of the house or the living room burning. Then, after that, came the smell. Scent of smoke between the hours of 3 to 4. When they wake up and they walk around the house to check thinking something was on fire, they can't detect anything was burning. Jay even checked the wiring. Nothing was burning. Yet there was this burning smell. Later on, May started sleepwalking. She would walk towards the living room and sit in the dark, and Jay would find her the next morning just lying down on the living room floor, asleep. And what's stranger than sleepwalking, that May had not had any sleepwalking experiences or such behavior in her past, is that her feet would be black, like as if she had stepped on ash. So, not thinking much about this because life still got to go on. They work out of that place, they live out of that place, and quite frankly, there was no real haunting for them to really be afraid. It was just sleepwalking, wake up, dirty feet. As scary and as strange as that sound, most rational people would just wash the feet, get on with life. And that's what Jay and May did. And about after a month of plus living in there, they invited their friends to come over. Typical, right? Game night, bought some pizza, lots of laughter, and everything pretty much as you will come to expect of a party. Except that night, something happened. One of the friend, Kevin, had to go to the toilet. So he walked off first for a long while. But when he came back, he was looking pale. So they asked him, "Hey, what's wrong? Look, you've seen a ghost. Kuat your kueh." And Kev was not laughing. And he said, he looked back, he looked in front. "Do you have 2 living rooms in this house?" And Jay and May said, "No lah, don't have lah, only one. Why?" Then he looked very puzzled. He says, I walked past the kitchen and I saw another living room just like this. Everything is in place except that it was burnt. And there was no one there. I was just the only one there. And when I came back, coming out of the toilet, I looked back, I saw only the kitchen. There was no other room. So when I came back here, I don't even know what I saw. But I remember walking in through 2 rooms before I reached the toilet. That was very strange. And when I was in the room, there was charred and burnt. I heard a voice right beside my ear, as if shouting into my ear, saying, "Wake up!" Maybe it's just my imagination. Everything was so real. So nobody really took serious thought about it. They laughed it off, except Jay and May, who felt something was probably wrong. But again, they didn't want to ruin the party. They just laughed it off and let it just happen. The next day, or rather after everyone left, Jay and May said, "I think we should investigate this lah. We should ask a bit more." So they went back to the friend of a friend to ask, what's wrong with this place? What was the history and what was the memory that you don't want to come to terms with? So the man wasn't even trying to be secretive about it. He says, "Yeah, there was a fire. The place burned down. And my uncle, well, he used to sleep in the living room. He would sleep there on the couch. And one night something caught fire. He didn't wake up in time and he was just burned. The body was still found on the sofa. No struggle. He was just burned and he was dead." So during investigation, or after the investigation, police were called in, of course, thinking there might be some foul play. And although it was strange and they cannot explain why, they said they couldn't find anything wrong. There was no electrical fire, there was no smoke, there was no, the uncle was not a smoker, so it was not like a lighted cigarette. Something just caught fire, it was burnt, and that was it. No one could explain how or why. So they left it as that, renovated what they can, wallpaper what they can't, and tossed some of the furnitures away. Unfortunately for Jay and May, they did not move out because rental was still cheap and housing prices in Singapore was a lot more painful than a potentially haunted house. Instead, every night since then, after they discovered what it was, they left the living room light on, and before they go to bed, they would go to the couch and they would say out loud in their normal voice, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." And they left. And ever since they did that ritual, nothing happened. We come to the end of all the confession. So let's discuss with me now. What do you think? Your thoughts about this confession? Be an investigator. Discuss with me. Let's see what you guys got. HDB or condo? No, this one. Let me see where they missed. Okay, HDB or condo, semi-D. Somewhere in a central north central part of Singapore. Northeast, northwest. Somewhere damn far from here. Like, it takes me about an hour to go there lah, by bus. Probably an hour and a half. South of Ang Mo Kio, around the area. Should we protect our home with something if you're going away on a long holiday, maybe a few months, leaving the house empty during that time? Bobby, I would definitely say it would be good to protect your house, but what are you going to use to protect your house? If you are spiritual, you're religious, you got your natural protection. If you're not, what are you going to use? So I think it'd be nice if you just put lime and salt around, just to make sure that when you come back, none of the salt are black and rotten. At least that will give you an indication that your house is not haunted. Okay, for the UTL says, the previous case can ask a homeowner to buy Insta360 camera to capture all around. Yeah, why not? Buy Insta360 camera, capture supernatural stuff, and then send to me lah. Then I can talk about it on my show. Emerald Hill nope, not Emerald Hill. I have cameras at home. Keep getting alert human detected, and when I come check my camera, it was a long furry spider web that kept triggering the sensor, I believe. Living room on fire is a nightmare to me. Another residual energy thing. Bear cute says, sorry for being late. Sir Eugene. Oh, Sir Eugene. I'm late. Will the Palo Santo sticks and love and light bracelet combo help in cleansing their haunted house? Good question. Since you asked me that, I'll talk about it. This is the love and light bracelet that she's talking about. It can be found on my YouTube shop. Just go to my YouTube channel and go to my shop and you'll find this bracelet. It's called Love and Light because it's imbued and consecrated with love and light. Can it help a haunted house? I personally have not sold this to anyone with a haunted house, but I do believe, since I have this bracelet on, and when I go to Changi, I was told that I tend to repel spirits. One particular testimonial of a couple who bought this bracelet, the wife bought it, and the husband seemed to have a headache. And one of the things that this bracelet could do is to repel toxic people. So I jokingly said, maybe your husband is toxic. You should try putting the bracelet on him and see whether he gets even greater headache. Turns out, when she placed this bracelet on him, 1 week later she says, my husband is now a much more calm and less hot-tempered. So maybe it does work. But this is still a new thing for me. I'm still testing out at the extent of how powerful this is. So far, the reviews I got for this Love and Light bracelet is that it's extremely effective. So please let me know if you have bought it. How is it working well for you? I would like to have a testimonial so I know, how powerful this consecration is. Palo Santo may not be all that powerful to push out a spirit that's been anchored in the space. So if we talk about, say, the second story, the one in Outram, where the spirit came in and take residence there, Palo Santo would work. this bracelet would work. But in the case of the death that's embedded in the house, it may be harder to move it out because the death was so much more tragic in a spot at ground zero. I think instead of trying to chase it out that normal way, bringing it to the light might be better. Can this bracelet bring things to the light? It cannot. But what it can do is infuse the place with so much positive energy that perhaps the tortured spirit might be dislodged from the place. So again, so many ways to do it. If I were to go down to that place, definitely I would go to the very spot of the death, and I would concentrate and infuse the place with light and love energy. So if that could work, perhaps this bracelet might be a minor version of that. I don't know. Let me know if you have it. RSVP by Grace says, there was a guy living in Tampines, says CCTV captured sightings of spirits. So I think these cameras might have ability to capture things. Okay, so people have sent me videos about their house haunting, and I would like to believe that most of these orbs that were captured in the CCTV are actually spirits. But when you capture something on camera, I would need you to give me a little bit longer footage of your video. Reason for that is, if I see a white ball flying across the camera, it is very difficult for me to say, oh, confirm hantu. Why? It could be a dust. It could be an insect. It's because you only get one flight pattern. But if I have a longer video that captures, say, a ball, an orb going down this way, stop, fly upwards, stop, maybe move towards the camera, then jet away. That might be more convincing that it's not a dust particle, not an insect, because insects don't fly that way. Therefore, it might be a spirit. But if it's just an orb flying across, how lah to tell you it's hantu? I can't. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's not a hantu. I just cannot determine 100% what it is. House is all right. Yes, it's old but newly renovated because fire. Paris Maitreya says, I dreamt I was riding on Godzilla the other night. Eugene, help. Paris, I'm not sure how to help you with this. You come and find me. We can meditate together. Speaking of dreams, I want to give a shout out to Tay Hak Wee. Tay Hak Wee has been a wonderful patron to me as well. And the other day he met up with me and he bought me a gift and he says, you will love this. And I think I used that with Paris in John's house. It was the IR infrared thermometer come video for you to use for paranormal investigation work. But why it's also interesting is when Hak Wee was out for meditation, I think about a couple of weeks back, he went for a meditation retreat. He said as he was meditating, he dreamt or he thought of me. I came into his vision while he's meditating, and I apparently told him 4 numbers. I don't buy 4D, so me telling people 4 numbers is not quite me. But anyway, he thought of me, he dreamt of me, and I gave him 4 numbers. And because he's not a 4D guy himself, he did not really think too much about it. But a number came out. He went to check the papers and a number came out. So any of you out there having dreams of me, let me know. I'd like to know, what did I tell you in your dreams? Perry, is your dream so epic? Bobby Lowe says, I saw orbs in my camera as well, but I believe it's just dust floating around. Again, if it's just consistent speed, one direction, I can't tell you it's a ghost. I've seen real orbs in video where the movement is like that. Stop, go up for a bit, and then shoot back out. I've seen some videos as well that looks like it's an orb moving about very fast. But actually, you know what? That orb had legs and feelers. So I hypothesized that it's actually a bee or insect that flew onto the camera and started walking around. Again, Orbs is very hard to capture, but it can be captured on CCTV. The good news is, on the House of the Hill, I have CCTV in every room. So who knows? I might be able to capture something and share with you guys on Friday Night Live. I'm going down the list, guys, so bear with me if I've not read your message yet. Damn Spider, oh my god, I'm so late. Michaela, it's been a while. Sage Singing Bowl will help, says Lilith. Evelyn says, help the uncle to move on. Yes, that's right. Should order 14-inch size beads. Okay. Someone won 4D after wearing... Oh, yes. RSVP by Grace. Someone won 4D after wearing this bracelet. Again, I'm not telling you to buy this bracelet because it's for 4D, but someone won it. And I suppose because you move... The rationale is when you push aside negative blockages, positive energy comes in. My Lily says, my housemates are the evil spirit. They don't like the smell of sage and sound of singing bowl. Confirm! If any of my friends are affected by the smell of Palo Santo or sage and singing bowl, confirm you're the evil ones lah. Tesla car also can capture apparently. Perry Stickman app. Yeah. Sharon, my late bro used to see a spirit by the main door. He did not tell my mom or I. Once I was helping my friend take care of her puppy, the puppy saw it. Wow. Sharon, you should get in touch with me and share your confessions, girl. Jenny is asking how to handle ghost encounters at work. Can you give me more information, Jenny? What kind of ghost encounters at work? Well, I can think of right now is Palo Santo, the place, at least your table. If you're working in a place like RWS in Sentosa, then good luck to you lah. Cannot cleanse on that one. Oh, you went to the door, asked it to leave, did not see it. Phrasing, the poor puppy freaked out. Hey, tell me your confession that I can share with everyone. Yeah. All right. We've come to the end of today's confession. I'm not sure how you feel about today's confession. I didn't feel that it was something I was used to. The narration was something that is very weird to me. The start and stop felt weird to me. But again, I just wanted to try something new, experiment with you guys. In my mind, as I was telling the confession, I was writing the confession, I was thinking it could be something like a choose your own adventure. So maybe I didn't do a good job narrating it that way. So yeah, don't be worried. You're not going to offend me if you tell me you don't like today's format. I myself feeling very uncomfortable with it. But if you think there's something I could play with it, I could make an improvement, let me know in the comment section what I could do with this. Yeah. Next week, on the 6th of June, a week before the Something Strange Festival and the opening of the Halls on the Hill and the launch of my 10-year anniversary book, my guest next week is none other than Guru Murali. Will be coming on the show live with me. We're going to be side by side talking about a recent experience that he had fighting off black magic in Kenya. Also, hopefully I can get today's guest to guest star next week and tell us about his haunted house and show that video so that Murali and I can dissect it along with the guest, along with you. All right. Illegal Porcelain, thank you very much for your feedback. I prefer regular confessions. Thank you. I appreciate that. Paris, Alvin says, okay, no, that's not what. Okay, RSVP by Grace says, remember when you place your order for the Love and Light bracelet, please leave a note in the comment section to let us know your size of your wrist so that we can customize it, number of beads, the length according to you, how fat or skinny your wrist is. And I know, Amelia, you wanted me to look for smaller beads. I have good news to tell you. I have smaller beads, but it is not this particular design. It is a different kind of material that can also ward away negative energy. So recently I have managed to find myself a reliable supplier that can give me beads like this, smaller version, size 8 of Raja Kayu. If you guys know what Raja Kayu is, it's a red piece of wood that's found in the forest, very solid, and it's natural deterrent of evil spirits. In fact, kampong days, when people build their tiang, the middle part of the house, they use Kayu Raja to build that wood because they believe it's very, very strong. It's like the spine and the backbone of the house. It keeps the house safe. Yeah. The last Guru Murali appeared on FNL. He was very natural. It is. He and me go back a long way. We can sit down and we can talk for hours. Maybe next week will not be 1.5 hours, will be 2 hours. So just prepare for that. I'll be drinking with Murali, okay? So, Alexandra, next week, I possibly might get tipsy. Your wish might come true. So Murali also drinks, I drink with a bottle of whiskey waiting for us. Also, if you guys would like to sponsor a whiskey, let me know. I'll pass you my address. You can send some whiskey over and we'll thank you on air personally. Yeah, Amelia, you're here. Yes, I remember what you said. And I always remember, comments and feedback that I will do my best to try to make happen. Imagine Malayan says, and the pauses make the twist in the story feel like Deus Ex Machina, like the wooden horse thing suddenly come out of nowhere. But because it was such a long pause right before... Oops. My screen just hang. Come out of nowhere, but because we had such a long pause right before, it made it feel abrupt. Yeah, Imagine Lion, I feel that way as well. That's why my last confession, if you realize, I didn't really stop at all. I just went all the way through because I'm not feeling the start-stop. In my mind, it works out like a choose your own adventure where you can tell the answer and then I can carry on. But it didn't work out like that in the actual show. So thank you for the comment as well. Real Kayu Raja? Yes, Elvin, real Kayu Raja. I'm not kidding. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, when I buy my materials, even Palo Santo, I do not just buy from Taobao. I do not just buy from unreliable source or dubious source. I research, I talk to the person, I make sure that it is extremely authentic, and then I buy. For this one, Kayu Raja, I actually met the distributor personally in Malaysia. I went down to Malaysia. Grace was with me. We met him. We saw all the items. He showed me different items. And it was amazing. So yes, authentic Kayu Raja. Those who know Kayu Raja, I tell you, it is rare. Rare, right? There's not just the red Kayu Raja, there's also the white Kayu Raja. It's even rarer. Okay, I'm not selling the white Kayu Raja primarily because it's incredibly expensive. I don't think we need to spend that kind of money. The red Kayu Raja is good enough. But if you really want a white Kayu Raja, let me know. I can work something out for you guys. I can customize it. But like I said, if I'm not willing to pay for it myself, I'm not going to sell it because I don't think that's a fair product to put up. But like I said, those who know the rarity of the white Kayu Raja, contact me. I can hook you up. Otherwise, the red Kayu Raja is good enough. It's extremely organic, extremely powerful in terms of its reputation. Like you realize all the stuff I go for is very natural because I kind of like the whole non-religious aspect to it. Like a Christian can wear, a Muslim also can wear, atheist you want to wear also can wear. It's just nice, going back to nature, letting nature do the healing process for you guys. Alexandra Ding, next week, 2 hours? 3 hours, wow. Okay, Alexandra, you come on the 21st, okay? 21st of June, you come. 3 hours, I guarantee you. Promise, maybe even longer than that. Okay? 21st June, come down. Free, right? Live show, right? Told you all, just come down, quickly grab your tickets first. Thank you. Okay, any way to adjust the length of the bracelet after it's made? Yes, Indigo Porcelain, you can adjust it For most people, you can just adjust it on your own, or you can go to people like Paris Maitreya, who does a very good job tying this up. This is my first prototype. So first prototype doesn't look very nice. It's very, the knot is quite obvious lah. Huh? But now level up already. Now you cannot see the knot anymore. Very nice. Very nicely done. Actually I say very nicely done. Like I'm the one doing it. Give props to Grace lah. Grace is the one doing it, not me. I just concentrate. Those of you who had bought the Love and Light bracelet in the early days, you would have gotten a video or a photo of me actually doing the concentration work. It is not easy. It takes time. I also have to keep my body and vessel clean. I have to meditate before that, and then I consecrate these items. I keep a Raja Kayu staff beside my bed. For what, Paris? What purpose? I got a few stuff lah. Okay lah. Since now I got time, right? I show and tell. Okay, confessions over, guys. You want to go? You can go. This is extra time. Okay, extra time already. Solid Sarawak Kayu Raja. This one was given to me by someone with who is extremely blessed by entities, you would say. He has a gift and he has the ability to help spirits move on. And when I met him, he says, I have a gift for you, not to leave empty-handed, from Malaysia, from Sarawak. Since your first time here, I want to give you a Kayu Raja, this thick, and it's real solid. This is quite a valuable gift. I'm very thankful. This is, if I'm not wrong, African blackwood. So, Paris, you got stuff. I also got stuff, but mine thin lah, quite thin. So what this is used for, so story of this is very interesting. I went to someone's house. He is a person who is able to craft candles, and to craft his magic candles, he had to use a lot of special ingredient. So when I went to his house, and one of the ingredient he had to use was this blackwood stuff he would shave off. When I held this, for some reason I felt an affinity to it. And as he was talking and I was talking, I was just holding on to the stuff. And what's this? White Kayu Raja. This is a white one, is it? Okay. So I was just holding on to the stuff, and both of us felt, already I was not really concentrating on it. He says he could feel energy, or my energy, coming out of this stuff. And then when I start to realize it and observe it, I realized that this became like my Harry Potter wand. When I use this and hold this, it becomes like a pipe for me to push out my energy a lot faster. So graciously, he decided to give me this, and again, very thankful for all the people I met. Grace just actually popped into my studio and says, White Kayu Raja. This is the White Kayu Raja. How do you know this is Kayu Raja? I was told, I don't think you can see lah. Okay. There is, the wood is able to, light is able to shine through the wood. Anyway, enough about wood and stuff like that. We're coming to the end of the show. Any other questions that you have for me? If not, I'm just going to say goodnight, and I'll see you guys next week with Murali. And the week after, it's already the Something Strange Festival. Go to supernaturalconfessions.com, and if you need a QR code, I'm flashing a QR code right now. Click, if you're watching me on big screen, you can scan this QR code and go straight to Something Strange Festival. Tickets are also there. There's workshops, there's tours, there's experiences, there's some ticketed, mostly free. So go check it out. Support this event. This is actually an event made for the community, and I would love to see you there. All right, that's it from me. I'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.